Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Miska and today I'm gonna get y'all ready for the fall and winter with this loaded potato soup. This is what you're gonna need. Heavy whipping cream, half and half, potatoes, onions, garlic if you got it, chicken broth or chicken bouillon, your seasonings, some flour. Now don't forget the bacon. I left the bacon out of that last clip, but we're gonna need some bacon. Y'all know me, I like to get all of the prep out of the way so that when I get started cooking, I ain't got to stop and do this or stop and do that. Everything can just flow. And so peel your potatoes and then you want to dice your potatoes. When you're dicing your potatoes, make sure that you are getting them around about the same size so that they can cook at the same rate. If some are small and some are super big, then you're gonna like overcook your soup trying to make sure that the bigger ones get cooked. So make sure you make them all the same size. I also diced half of an onion. So, dice you some onion. You can use more or less if you want, but I used about half. I also want to say, ignore that olive oil that I had in the clip earlier because I didn't use no olive oil. I don't know. I guess I'm just so used to sauteing stuff that when I make this, I forget that the oil is coming from the bacon. And what I used was about 6 pieces of bacon. I just cut them up into little strips. And that's what we're going to use to saute our onions. You can use celery if you like. You can put garlic in there. But I'm just going to be using onion today. And you want to fry your bacon up until it's crispy, golden brown like this. We're going to put it to the side, take it out of that pan, but leave the oil. Don't get rid of the oil. I'm also grating up some cheese. I used about a 16-ounce block of cheddar cheese. I used mild cheddar because I didn't have any sharp. But yes, grate your own cheese for this recipe. Some recipes, you can't just use the packaged stuff. Now, if you're in a bind, if you're in a rush, go ahead and use the packaged stuff. But it be having like a little powder on it to keep it from going bad. And it can affect your recipe sometimes. So if you can, do it fresh. And go the onions. We're going to saute those until they are translucent, until they're pretty soft for the most part. Don't forget, saute your onions first before you add garlic because you do not want to burn your garlic. Cook your onions for about 2 minutes, then it'll be safe to add in your garlic. Now this is similar to making gravy, but it's not gravy. You're making a roux for this soup. Now this is what is going to thicken up your soup so that it has that luscious body, yaddy, yaddy, yaddy to it, okay? This is what's going to make your soup creamy. So you want to saute your onions and whatever else you put in. After that, we'll add in our flour. Now, I added about 2, maybe 3 tablespoons to this. You do not want to overcook this because, again, you're not making gravy. You just want to make sure that the flour is not raw. I cooked it about a total of 6 to 7 minutes, maybe. My heat was on medium to high. And you want to cook out that nasty little flour taste. That's the goal here, to thicken up the soup and to cook out that flour taste. Y'all, this has got to be one of my favorite soups. Like, I love potatoes. Potatoes are so versatile. Like, you can do anything with it. Like a fry. I love a good fry child. I love a good baked potato. I love a good scalloped potato. I love a good soup with potatoes. Like, it's just so good. It's so good. You can't go wrong with potatoes. Like, you can make so many things with the potato. Like, God did his thing when he made the potato. Okay, anyway, I'm ready. My roux is ready. And so I'm going in with the 16 ounces of the half and half. Then I'm going in with my 16 ounces of heavy whipping cream. I also added 6 cups of water, but you can replace the water with chicken broth. I'm using water because I'm also using chicken bouillon, and so that is going to serve as my flavor. Make sure you mix it around real good, get it well incorporated into your liquid because you don't want any clumps of flour in there. So make sure you dissolve each and every little piece of flour so that it thickens up your soup really nice. Again, here goes my water. I don't know why, y'all, but I have been opting to use chicken bases or chicken bouillon cubes and beef bouillon cubes rather than stock. I feel like you can get more uses out of the jars of bouillon. So that's what I do, and you just add as many tablespoons as you need or as the instructions on the jar tells you to for the amount of water that you use. So yeah, pro tip, pro tip. Now I'm going in with my seasonings. I'm using my usual child. You know me. Roasted garlic and herb gonna go in everything I cook. Just about, just about. I'm also going in with some garlic powder, onion powder, pepper, salt. I didn't have any paprika, but I would usually put that in there as well. And we're just gonna mix it around. Here I'm showing you the size of potato that I go for. I usually do them about this size because I don't want them to be super small. And you know, it's potato soup, so you gotta have a potato to bite into after all. I mean, what are we doing if it's not a potato that I can bite into in the soup? But to each his own, do your thing. Anywho, we're mixing it around. It's all ready. And now we're going to get those potatoes cooked through. As you can see here, we have come up to a boil on this soup. Now, you don't want it to boil crazy. You don't want it too high because it's milk that you're working with and it can scorch the pan. So you want to keep it on about medium high and watch it. Make sure you give it a stir so that nothing is sticking at the bottom of your pan. You don't want scorched soup. As you can see, it's gotten thicker. That's what that roux does for your soup. It thickens it, and you can see that it's coating that spoon very well. So we are just about done. Also, you can add as many or as less potatoes that you want to add to your soup. I did about 7 to 8 small potatoes, but you can do more. You're welcome to do however many you like. Also, I like to go in with my smasher and give it a smash a few times. I just like to have it a little more thick. And so that's what that does. It thickens up that soup even more. I'm going in with half of that 16-ounce block of shredded cheese. I'm going in with some of the bacon that I cooked earlier as well. I like to see some green floating through there. I don't know, it just makes me feel like I'm eating a baked potato when I see green floating through the soup. So I'm going in with some dried parsley as well. As you can see, this is looking good. It's so creamy. You got the potatoes in there swimming around in that creaminess, the cheese, the meat. I added a little more cheese after giving it a taste. Taste your food, honey. Taste your food. How you gonna know what the people finna taste if you don't taste it? So I'm giving it one final stir. I'm making sure my cheese is melted. I'm making sure nothing is sticking to the bottom of the pan. You don't want to cook it on too high and you don't want to leave it unattended. Make sure you're watching this pot. You ain't got to stand over it, but make sure you're giving it an occasional stir. So here's the final result. Everything is done. My potatoes are cooked. My cream is creaming. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. And so now we are ready to plate. Because y'all, ain't nothing like some good old warm soup on a cold, rainy day. All right, so here's what I like to do, okay? I use my big old ladle to make me feel like I'm doing something. And I'm just ladling it in the bowl. Y'all, presentation is key, and I love a good presentation, okay? So I got to go all in. I'm filling up my bowl. If I could, I'd fill it up to the brim, child. But I'm acting like I got some sense. And so I'm going in with sour cream. I'm topping it off with some more of that cheese. I'm adding the bacon, the green onions. You can use chives, but I like a green onion on mine. I've seen people use just about anything, olives. You can even put broccoli in here, child. Whatever you want to do. The choice is yours, but this is how I like mine. And honey, it hit, it slap, it do all of that, okay? Of course, food glitter goes on everything, aka parsley. And here's the final view of it. Like, it's just so good. You got to put more cheese on it. You see how that cheese melt? Honey, you got to give it a try. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel. Check out my other cooking videos. And until next time, you guys.